What's up everyone? Today's video we're going to be addressing one of the issues with the Procharger kit, and it's a rattling noise that you'll get from the intercooler or charge piping rubbing against each other and rubbing on the rad support and kind of the frame rail area. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the issue, show you guys my temporary solution, at least for now. It will resolve it. I got to get some better kind of components to clean up the issue, and I might actually kind of redesign something later. And I'll explain in a second what I'm talking about, but let's get into it. I'll show you guys what's going on and how we're gonna resolve it temporarily. Okay, so I have the hood on the Ram open right now. And everything's running pretty decently right now. If you guys haven't checked the last video where we installed the tile blow-off valve right there, you guys should check it out. And I'm gonna get you guys a little bit better sound clips hopefully very shortly. After this video, I'm gonna actually go do some logging and stuff with Jay Green so that we get the tune a little bit more sorted out. But one of the things that me and him were talking about is this vibration. You guys can probably hear that metal on metal noise. That's coming from in here. And just before I continue on talking about that, what I wanted to say is that vibration can also be picked up by the knock sensor. So if there's a little bit of vibration there, the knock sensor might actually pick that up. And the knock sensor is always located on the block of the engine, but when we're doing tuning, if it's gets some sort of weird frequencies or vibrations, the knock sensor will pick it up and it'll actually pull timing out of our tune and out of the engine in order to protect itself. But it could be getting a false reading from something as simple as this charge piping rubbing on the frame or rubbing against each other. So what the issue is we go from the intercooler in the front and it goes to this rubber hose here, or rubber coupling, and then it goes into a hard pipe in between, connects to this rubber housing again, and the bottom, the lower one, does the same thing. It goes from rubber to hard pipe through here and then transitions back. And part of the problem with that is it's very tight through there. We have this part of the frame rail, we have the rad support here, and it kind of just ever so slightly touches on this silver painted portion. It rubs on the side there, and I actually did put this kind of, I had this blue 3-inch coupling just sitting around. I put that around it just to stop it from hopefully rubbing on the pipe below it, the hard pipe, and also the rail here, but we're still getting a bit of rubbing. So what I'm gonna do is pop the grill off super quick, try to readjust it from here to give myself a bit more clearance. And that's what we're gonna do in today's video, is try to just resolve that issue, because you can hear it. We have that metal on metal clanking noise, and if that it might be altering our tune or kind of messing with things a little bit. So I'm gonna try and clean that up, and that's gonna be the purpose of today's video. So let's pop off this front grill. I have other videos on taking and disassembling the grill, so check out those other videos. It's super easy. Since I don't have this plate, the kind of rad plate that usually sits here, it's just these 410mm bolts on the top, and we just yank it off with the speed clip. So I'm gonna get that off and we'll get into what we're doing. So now that the grill's off, I can show you guys a little bit better what the problem is. So here's the lower intercooler piping, here's the upper one, and you can probably hopefully see in here, they hit right there. So these two hard pipes right now, because there's such restriction on space, they're actually hitting right now, and this one is also touching right there. That's why you can see that rubber that I put in there. It's kind of isolating off of at least the silver frame portion, but it's still hitting down here. So what I'm gonna try and do is turn this one up a little bit and then get that 3-inch silicone coupling, the blue one that's currently in there, to sit between the two pipes so that we don't have them hitting metal on metal and causing a vibration, a noise, and maybe some interference on the knock sensor. So I'm gonna go ahead and mess with this for a second and I'll show you the end result. So here's that pipe off. You can see just how much it's been chafing against the side of the frame rail right there, and this is part of the problem. The other part of the problem was right here. You can see this kind of scrape mark here. That's where it's rubbing on the top of the lower intercooler or charge piping. And what we're gonna do is try to put that rubber coupling around that I think fell down here. So I'm gonna grab this blue one. We're gonna put it around here with some tie wraps, most likely. just to keep it isolated like so. I'm probably gonna do a black one later, to be honest, just so it's kind of color matched and not so ugly, but put this around with a couple tie wraps, and that should keep it isolated at least. And we'll put this in here and try to center it so it's not touching or potentially rubbing on anything. So that's what we're gonna try and do right now. So here's a couple ties just holding that in place. Let's go ahead and situate that back in there and see how everything looks. Okay, so it's pretty late here and dark along with late, but I managed to accomplish what I was trying to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and shine the light on this. You'll notice up here that we do have a lot better clearance between the coolant overflow bottle, and the previous owner did have some sort of double-sided tape or something of that nature on here to stop it from rubbing on here, and I managed to get this charge pipe that heads to the throttle body high enough that there's tons of clearance there now. And also here's what we got going on here. So as we let this adjust, you can probably see, or hopefully see, now that rubber coupling is isolating the two, so we don't have that rubbing. And you can see between the frame rail there on the left hand side, we have that blue rubber coupling isolating that. So it's super tight through there. There's not much we can do at the moment, but that's what we got going on, and at least for now, hopefully you guys can see, that's what we got in there, and everything's adjusted. So it sounds like, you know, when I kind of hit this piping, and it's not the most scientific method, but when I use my fist, and you don't hear that metal on metal clank that we were hearing at the beginning of this video. So this should be more what we want. I shouldn't have that vibration noise, rattling noise inside the cab anymore. And we're gonna try this, and hopefully our logs are a bit cleaner at the same time. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that grill on quickly and then wrap up this video. Alright you guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed this video. That should be a solution for hopefully any of you guys that decide to, I guess, install this Procharger kit, or you already have it. That's a common issue, that rattle that goes on there, so you will have to probably do something with that, because out of the box they don't have they don't really say anything about that, and it is an issue that will present itself with a vibration, a noise, and maybe even some tuning issues like we might be experiencing. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, and I will make a follow-up video to kind of tell you that it went okay, but I think that should be okay. I'm going to do some testing on it now, and we're going to do some data logs. So be sure to check out the other videos and also the next videos. I'm going to get a lot more kind of sound clips and all that kind of good stuff. So we have that tile wastegate or blow-off valve on there now. And with that blow-off valve, it sounds incredible now. It's way louder, and it sounds pretty good. So I'll get you guys some clips of that next. But if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up for me. Consider subscribing if you're stopping in for the first time, and make sure you check out the other videos. We've covered a lot of ground on this truck and also this car, and we have a lot more on the way. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.